Paradise or pitfalls? The pros and cons of living in Southwest Florida. Hey, do me a favor real quick. Go ahead and click a link below, book a call with me. I'd love to talk with you about all your Southwest Florida real estate needs. Today we're gonna dive into the pros and cons of living in Southwest Florida. I really wanna showcase all the pros of everything, but also kind of explain, hey, maybe it's not everything that you thought it was, so you have to keep all these factors in mind before you make that decision, right? So one of the big pros has been weather, right? We have gorgeous weather. Winters are very mild. Summers are warm, but really, you know, when I've gone back up north to visit friends, it's not that much warmer here than it is in some of those places. So that's something to keep in factor. Is the weather is gorgeous. We have a lot more sunlight than other places. I actually said this with my wife anytime we visit her friends back in the Northeast. I said, hey, did you notice something? She goes, what? I go, yeah, all their houses are bigger. I go, but we spent the whole time indoors. When we're home, we spend a lot of time outdoors. It's just how it is down here. You know, with beautiful weather, you want to be outdoors more. A lot of culture, amenities, and retirement communities that are kind of geared towards those lifestyles, right? So this area has become a melting pot, learning different cultures. I know I learned a lot about some South American cuisines. You know, there's a lot of Cuban restaurants down here that you get to have that flavor fusion of foods, and it's a lot of other people moving to this area, and it's really cool to see all that. I actually been doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for a while, and I've noticed a large Brazilian community moving into certain areas. And I've tried out some famous street food that's there, and some of my favorites. So it's becoming a lot of a melting pot down here, which is really cool, and you get to experience different things. One of the other things I talked about before is retirement activities, right? So there's communities that are actually geared towards people without kids that are, you know, empty nesters, and they have activities built in there. And there's even some communities that are kind of building it so that you don't have to leave between restaurants, movie theaters, activities, pools, you name it, they've got it there. It's very cool to watch all that happen. Let's talk about the cons, right? So population growth. If you guys aren't paying attention, everyone's moving to Florida, right? And our area has been booming with growth. I actually live out in an area that there's a lot of empty lots, and not so much anymore. We were fortunate enough to get the one next to us, but it is booming. People want to move here. They're realizing how nice it is. So population growth is increasing, so that means traffic. So that's why it's key to have a good realtor on your side. Is, you know, what are you looking for? Are you looking for that dense population? Are you looking to be in a more rural area? That's where a good realtor can help you out. And yes, there are hurricane risks. Just like the Midwest with tornado risks, I dealt with that growing up. Hurricane risk, it does happen. We actually had one hit here not even a year ago. We did have some damage to our home, nothing crazy. And it kind of went right over us. There is a risk for it. That's why we have hurricane windows. That's why we have building codes that we build to. And a lot of times it's just a lot of wind and rain, right? Some of the damage that does occur is from those items that get picked up from the wind and hit stuff. But the flooding caused most of the damage, actually. And in some areas it might have only been a few inches of rain, or not rain, but of flooding water that rose up. It is something to keep in mind. But there's a reason people are still here. You know, we're not fleeing because of it, right? We build our homes up to code and actually do a little bit elevation build up, and that helps. I know we had water come over this freshwater seawall here, but nothing got in the house, and we were pretty close to where everything came over. There is high humidity. As I record this video, I'm in a lightweight collared shirt. I got my fan going in the tiki hut to keep me cool. Humidity's high. You get used to it. That's why, you know, it's pretty common to see pools down here to cool off, right? You find ways to stay cool, stay hydrated, but it is a factor. If you're not big on humidity, you got to keep that in mind moving down to this area. And of course, cost of living. Cost of living's going up. Still cheaper than a lot of our northern states that you're used to, or even some other areas in the state. But cost of living is rising, but it's all comparable. You know, most things are on like a 30-year cycle. You know, stuff was expensive 30 years ago, but we made a lot less. We make more now, stuff's more expensive. It's just kind of the cycle of stuff, but keep that in mind. It is cheaper than probably where you might be, but it's not as cheap as it used to be. Pros and cons of living in Southwest Florida. I hope I answered some questions. If you have any other questions, do me a favor and go ahead and click the links below. Book a call with me. I'd love to chat with you about all your real estate needs in Southwest Florida. And if you got something out of this real estate video, do me a favor and share it up with somebody else. And otherwise, just subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more. Talk soon.